Imagine for a moment that right before you drift into sleep, you hold the key to bending reality itself. That one fleeting moment, just before the veil of dreams, holds the power to rewrite your life story. This is no magic trick, no distant fantasy. It is the secret art of living in the end, feeling the reality of your wish fulfilled as if it is already done. Tonight, as your body relaxes and your mind quiets, you will use the one technique that instantly aligns your inner world with the life you desire. Before sleep, your conscious mind loosens its grip, and your subconscious becomes like soft clay, eager to be shaped by your imagination and feeling. It is here, in this twilight zone, that your deepest desire takes root. Imagine yourself already living your fulfilled Vadya, not in the distant future, not someday, but now. See yourself in the state of having what you want. Hear the sounds, see the colors, taste the joy, feel the emotion. The secret is to saturate your mind and heart with this feeling so powerfully that your subconscious can no longer tell the difference between imagination and reality. This practice is not about wishing or hoping. It is about knowing and feeling with absolute conviction. The subconscious does not argue, it obeys. It cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is actually experienced. When you fall asleep, holding this feeling, your subconscious mind sets to work, orchestrating the unfolding of circumstances to bring your imagined reality into being. Many search for complex rituals or long processes, but the simplicity of this method is its genius. The moment before sleep is the perfect portal, untouched by distraction, uncluttered by doubt. It is the fertile soil where the seed of your imagination grows rapidly. Use it wisely, use it with faith, and watch how the invisible world rearranges itself to manifest your deepest desires. Remember, your feeling is the secret. The art of feeling the state of your wish fulfilled before you sleep is the most potent act of creation. Tonight, as you close your eyes, slip effortlessly into the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Let your subconscious take this as truth. Then awaken not only to a new day, but to a new reality shaped by the power of your imagination. There is a moment every night that holds extraordinary power, a moment that many pass by without realizing its true significance. It is the time just before sleep when the conscious mind begins to fade and the subconscious mind becomes highly receptive. This is no ordinary moment. It is the gateway through which your desires, dreams, and inner convictions can take root and blossom into reality. Understanding this moment, the last few minutes before you drift into sleep, is essential to mastering the art of creation within your own life. When the body relaxes and the conscious mind quiets, the boundaries between reality and imagination blur. The logical, analytical mind steps back and the subconscious, the silent, obedient servant, comes to the forefront. This servant, your subconscious, does not judge or question, it simply accepts what you impress upon it as truth. The key to harnessing this power lies in realizing that the moment before sleep is the most fertile ground for planting the seeds of your future. It is a time when your inner world holds the power to shape your outer world. In the waking state, your conscious mind is active, engaged with the distractions, judgments, and doubts of the day. It filters experiences, questions reality, and often doubts the possibility of your desire. But as you prepare for sleep, this filter loosens. The barriers that separate your imagination from your reality dissolve. You enter a state of vivid receptivity where the thoughts and feelings you nurture become accepted commands to the subconscious. This is why the practice of impressing your desire just before sleep works so powerfully. Imagine it as planting a seed in soft, rich soil. If the soil is hard and dry, the seed struggles to take hold. But when the soil is soft and moist, the seed immediately begins to sprout. The moment before sleep is that soft soil. Your subconscious is ready to receive, nurture, and grow the thought or feeling you offer it. But it is not merely the thought you send into this receptive space that matters, It is the feeling you attach to that feeling is the language of the subconscious. Words alone carry little power without the corresponding emotion. When you feel your wish fulfilled, when you allow yourself to truly experience the emotion of already having what you desire, your subconscious accepts it as reality. This feeling becomes a command, setting into motion the invisible forces that shape your external world. At this moment, if you vividly imagine your desire with emotional intensity, you bypass all resistance from the conscious mind. Doubts, fears, and limitations no longer have a voice. The subconscious embraces the feeling as an absolute truth and begins the process of transforming that truth into physical form. This is the essence of creation. What you hold in feeling and imagination, especially before sleep, your subconscious takes as fact and brings forth. The power of this moment is often underestimated because it is so subtle. It requires discipline and attention to detail. Before sleep, your thoughts must be deliberately directed and your feelings consciously cultivated. You must learn to withdraw your mind from external worries and focus entirely on the reality you wish to experience. This practice may take time, but as with all skills, it strengthens with repetition and faith. It is important to understand that the subconscious does not operate on linear time. It does not say, I will manifest this desire tomorrow or next week. It accepts the feeling as present and immediate. This is why the feeling before sleep is so critical. It impresses the subconscious with a present reality, a state of being that overrides past memories and current conditions. The subconscious then works ceaselessly, even through your sleep, to adjust your external reality to match what it now perceives as your true state. This moment also serves as a natural gateway to the realm of dreams, where imagination is unrestrained. Dreams are reflections of what the subconscious holds. When you consistently feed your subconscious with the feeling of the wish fulfilled before sleep, your dreams often begin to align with that reality. They become a confirmation, a rehearsal, and a reinforcement of the desired outcome. This dream state further solidifies the subconscious conviction, accelerating manifestation. However, the key is consistency. This moment before sleep is a sacred opportunity that must not be wasted on doubt or negativity. Any contradictory thoughts weaken the impression and delay manifestation. Like a gardener tending to a delicate seedling, you must protect this moment from weeds of disbelief and distraction. Only then will the seed flourish and bring forth the fruit of your desire. The moment before sleep, then, is the most powerful time to impress your subconscious, because it is a natural state of heightened suggestibility combined with a softened mental resistance. It is a direct communication channel to the creative forces within you. By learning to live in the feeling of your fulfilled desire during this moment, you open the floodgates to infinite possibilities. Every night as you prepare to sleep, remember that you hold the pen that writes the script of your reality. The quality of your last thoughts and feelings before sleep is the foundation upon which your next day and ultimately your life is built. Embrace this truth and make the moment before sleep your most intentional and sacred practice. Here in this silent, intimate moment lies the power to reshape your world. You are the artist of your destiny, and the moment before sleep is your canvas. Paint it with the colors of your highest desire and watch as your inner vision unfolds into the masterpiece of your life. The power of imagination is the cornerstone of all creation. It is the faculty through which the unseen becomes seen, the intangible becomes tangible, and the impossible becomes inevitable. Understanding how to harness this power effectively is crucial, because imagination is not merely daydreaming or idle fantasy. It is the creative force that shapes your entire reality. When you learn to imagine with vividness and feeling, you are engaging the very mechanism that manifests your desires instantly and irresistibly. Imagination is the language your subconscious understands best. The subconscious does not reason, it does not question, and it does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. To it, imagination is reality itself. When you imagine your desire with clarity, detail, and emotional intensity, your subconscious receives this image as truth. It accepts your imagined state as your actual state of being and then begins the process of translating that inner image into your external world. This is why the quality of your imagination matters so deeply. It must be sensory rich and emotionally charged. It is not enough to simply picture a distant goal like a lifeless photograph. You must immerse yourself fully in the experience of already having what you want. Imagine the sights, sounds, smells, textures, and tastes surrounding your fulfilled desire. Hear the voices, feel the warmth or coolness of the environment, and most importantly, feel the emotion, the joy, gratitude, peace, or excitement as if it were happening now. When imagination is accompanied by feeling, it becomes a command to the subconscious mind. The subconscious, always obedient, sets to work to align your physical reality with the picture and emotion you have impressed upon it. This is the secret to instantaneous manifestation. The moment your imagination is saturated with feeling, the seeds of your desire begin to grow. Many misunderstand imagination as something that belongs only to childhood or fantasy, but it is in fact the very essence of your power to create your world. Everything you see around you was first imagined by someone before it appeared in physical form. The grandest inventions, the tallest buildings, the most profound works of art, all began as vivid imaginations sustained by feeling until they became real. The same creative force resides within you. You are the living source of all that you attract and experience. By learning to control your imagination, you take control of your destiny. The moment before sleep, when your mind is most relaxed and receptive, is the ideal time to cultivate this powerful imaginative state. At that moment, your imagination can be vivid and your feelings can run deep without interference from doubt or distraction. Practice makes this power stronger. The more often you imagine your desire with feeling, the more natural it becomes to enter that state. It becomes your default mode of consciousness, and your external reality must conform accordingly. You no longer live as a victim of circumstance, but as a master creator directing the flow of events by the power of your inner vision. When you imagine with feeling, you must also assume the role of the person who already has what you want. See yourself living that reality, acting from that state, and responding to life as though your desire is already fulfilled. This assumption is crucial because it aligns your identity with your desire. Your subconscious mind works to bring your identity into harmony with your imagined state. You become who you imagine yourself to be. Another important aspect is to avoid conflicting thoughts or feelings. Doubt, fear, or impatience can cloud your imagination and weaken its power. When you feel these negative emotions, you send contradictory signals to your subconscious, which can delay or prevent manifestation. Therefore, your imagination must be clear, unwavering, and filled with faith. Many times, people try to imagine what they want, but lack the emotional intensity necessary to convince the subconscious. They remain detached or skeptical, and their desires remain unmanifested. To truly harness imagination, you must pour your whole being into the experience. Feel the passion, the certainty, and the joy as if there is no other reality but the one you create within. Imagination is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. It is the instrument through which you shape your world. Without it, your desires remain distant wishes. With it, they become your reality. The more vivid and emotional your imagination, the quicker your subconscious moves to express it. When you understand that imagination with feeling is the true language of creation, you gain the power to change any circumstance. This knowledge frees you from the limitations of your current environment, your past experiences, and the opinions of others. You become sovereign over your life, crafting your destiny with deliberate intent and joyful expectation. The creative process begins the moment you enter the imagined scene with feeling. That moment is sacred because it is the point where your invisible thought becomes an invisible reality within your subconscious. From that point forward, your subconscious mind tirelessly works behind the scenes to bring that reality into the physical world. You do not need to worry about the how or when. Your only task is to hold the image firmly and feel the emotion as though it is already yours. In this way, imagination is not an escape from reality, but the very act of creating reality. It is the spark that ignites the manifestation of your deepest desire. Cultivate it with reverence and persistence, and you will find that your life begins to shift, almost effortlessly, into alignment with your dreams. Remember, the moment before sleep is the perfect time to engage this powerful faculty. Use it to imagine your desire fully, with every detail and feeling, and let your subconscious mind do the rest. The results will come, often faster and more wonderfully than you ever expected. The subconscious mind operates in a realm beyond reason and logic. It does not analyze, it does not question, and it certainly does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. This is a profound truth to understand, because it means that your subconscious mind accepts whatever impression you give it as absolute reality. It is utterly obedient to the feelings and images you impress upon it. To grasp this fully is to unlock the secret of creation itself. Unlike the conscious mind, which often doubts, questions, and rationalizes, the subconscious mind is a faithful servant that carries out your commands without hesitation. When you vividly imagine a scene and feel the reality of that scene as true, your subconscious accepts that state as fact. It cannot separate the imagined from the actual, because it lives in the world of feeling and belief, not in the world of facts or physical evidence. This means that what you imagine with feeling is instantly accepted by your subconscious as your current reality. The subconscious mind does not wait for external circumstances to change before it believes. Rather, it acts on the inner impression immediately and sets to work arranging circumstances to match that inner state. This is why the feeling you cultivate in your imagination must be one of certainty, conviction, and fulfillment. The subconscious mind's inability to distinguish between real and vividly imagined experiences is the foundation of all manifestation. When you create a mental scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire and experience the emotions of having it, the subconscious registers this scene as a truth to live by. This is why so many teachings emphasize living in the end, which means dwelling mentally and emotionally in the state of the wish fulfilled. It is important to realize that the subconscious mind does not concern itself with the how of manifestation. It simply acts on the impression you give it. It takes your vivid feeling of the fulfilled desire and begins to orchestrate events, opportunities, and encounters that align with that state. The details of the external world are the subconscious's domain to arrange. Your task is to give it clear and consistent instructions in the form of feeling and imagination. Because the subconscious cannot distinguish between real and imagined experiences, it is also vulnerable to contradictory impressions. When you harbor doubts, fears, or negative beliefs alongside your desires, the subconscious becomes confused and conflicted. It receives mixed signals and struggles to create a coherent reality. This internal conflict delays or blocks manifestation. Therefore, it is essential to guard your imagination and feelings carefully, ensuring that they align with the reality you wish to experience. Another key point is that the subconscious mind is deeply influenced by repetition. The more often you impress a particular feeling or scene upon it, the stronger that impression becomes. Repetition builds faith, conviction, and inevitability in the subconscious. This is why the practice of imagining your wish fulfilled before sleep is so powerful. It uses a natural daily moment of heightened suggestibility to strengthen the impression. This teaching also reveals why visualization alone, without feeling, often fails to bring about change. The subconscious responds to the emotional tone of your imagination more than the mental images themselves. A dry, intellectual visualization lacks the emotional charge necessary to compel the subconscious into action. Feeling is the fuel that ignites the creative power of imagination. Understanding that the subconscious mind cannot distinguish between reality and imagination allows you to use your inner world as a workshop of creation. You become the master craftsman, carefully shaping the images and feelings that will be realized outside of you. This realization frees you from the illusion that you are powerless in the face of your circumstances. Instead, you come to see that your reality is a mirror reflecting your internal state. Because the subconscious mind obeys your feelings without question, you must cultivate feelings that support your desires. These feelings must be consistent and sustained until they become your natural state of being. When your feelings are aligned with your desires, the subconscious moves swiftly to manifest them. It is not a matter of if, but when and how. This understanding also encourages patience and persistence. Manifestation may not always appear instantly in physical form, but your subconscious mind is always active, working beneath the surface to bring your inner state into outer expression. Trusting the process and maintaining your inner state of fulfillment is crucial. In practical terms, this means engaging in exercises where you imagine a scene that implies your wish fulfilled and saturate that scene with feeling. Live in that feeling until it becomes so natural that it feels like your actual reality. Then release attachment to the outcome, confident that your subconscious will handle the manifestation process. This blend of feeling and trust is the key to effortless creation. Your subconscious mind, unable to differentiate between real and imagined, is your most powerful ally in creation. By mastering this dynamic, you harness the infinite creative power within you. Your inner world becomes the blueprint for your external reality, and the imagined becomes the lived experience. This is the secret that transforms dreams into realities, desires into experiences, and imagination into the world you walk in. Faith is the silent force that moves the unseen mountains within your consciousness. It is the unwavering conviction that what you desire is not only possible, but inevitable. To grasp the power of faith is to recognize that it is not a vague hope or wishful thinking, but a firm and unshakable knowing. This knowing shapes your inner world, which in turn shapes your outer world. Faith is the key that unlocks the door between imagination and manifestation, allowing the invisible to become visible. When you act with faith, you are living from the end, the fulfilled state of your desire. You do not wait for evidence or proof in the physical world. Instead, you take the feeling of the wish fulfilled as your present reality. This shift in consciousness is profound because it places your mind in a state of expectancy, a fertile ground where creative forces take root. Faith dissolves doubt and fear, which are the only true barriers to manifestation. The subconscious mind responds powerfully to faith. It is like a mirror reflecting the truth of what you believe to be real. When your faith is strong and unshakable, your subconscious accepts this belief as fact and begins to align your external circumstances accordingly. It does not question or delay. It immediately begins to adjust your life experience to reflect your inner state. This is why faith is often described as the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen. Without faith, the imagination alone cannot create lasting change. Imagination must be backed by the certainty of faith to impress the subconscious mind effectively. If you imagine your desire but secretly doubt its possibility, your subconscious receives conflicting messages and cannot act decisively. The result is stagnation or delayed manifestation. Therefore, cultivating faith is as essential as vivid imagination. Faith is not a passive state, but an active, dynamic force. It requires persistence and commitment. You must return continually to the feeling of the wish fulfilled, reaffirming your conviction despite external appearances. This practice strengthens faith, transforming it from a fragile hope into a powerful current that flows through your entire being. It is this current that carries your desire from the realm of thought into the realm of reality. It is natural for the mind to question and for doubts to arise, especially when external conditions seem contrary to your desires. However, these doubts are merely echoes of past beliefs and do not reflect the creative truth you are now embodying. Faith acts as a shield, protecting your inner vision from these disturbances and maintaining your focus on the end result. One way to strengthen faith is through repetition and affirmation. By repeatedly assuming the feeling of the fulfilled desire, you impress your subconscious mind with the certainty of your new reality. This repetition builds momentum, reinforcing the belief until it becomes your dominant consciousness. In this way, faith grows stronger with each practice until it becomes your natural state. Faith also involves surrender, a willingness to release control over how and when your desire will manifest. This surrender is not resignation, but trust in the creative process unfolding within you. When you release resistance and trust that the unseen forces are working on your behalf, you align yourself with the flow of manifestation. This alignment accelerates the realization of your desire. It is important to recognize that faith is deeply personal. It arises from your own inner experience of knowing and feeling. No external proof or validation is needed because faith is the foundation upon which all creation rests. It is the internal conviction that shapes your external reality. Faith, combined with imagination and feeling, becomes the most potent creative force you possess. It transforms thoughts into things, ideas into experiences, and dreams into living reality. This is why so many great creators, inventors, and visionaries emphasize the power of unwavering faith as the source of their success. To cultivate this faith, begin each day and end each night by living in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Use your imagination to immerse yourself in scenes that imply the fulfillment of your desire. Feel the emotions fully and affirm to yourself that what you desire is already yours. Return to this state as often as possible, especially before sleep when your subconscious mind is most receptive. Faith does not require that you see immediate results or physical evidence. It requires only that you hold the feeling of certainty within your heart and mind. This inner certainty radiates outward, drawing circumstances, people, and opportunities that correspond to your belief. In this way, faith is the engine that powers manifestation. It is the bridge between your inner vision and the outer world. Without faith, the creative process stalls. With faith, it accelerates. By nurturing and maintaining faith, you become the architect of your own reality, shaping your world from the invisible realm of belief into the tangible world of experience. Understanding and embodying this principle empowers you to live with confidence and joy, knowing that the desires you hold with faith are already unfolding in your life. Your inner conviction is the creative force that transforms the unseen into the seen, making faith the cornerstone of every fulfilled desire. Persistence is the silent power that nurtures the seeds of your desires until they bloom into visible reality. It is the steady, unwavering commitment to maintaining the feeling of your wish fulfilled, regardless of the outward circumstances that may suggest otherwise. To understand persistence is to understand that creation is not a one-time act, but a continuous process of reaffirming your inner state until it becomes your external experience. The moment you impress your subconscious mind with the feeling of your desire fulfilled, the creative process begins. However, the subconscious does not work according to your timetable or sense of impatience. It moves in harmony with your inner conviction and faith. When doubt or disbelief enters your mind, it acts like a disturbance in the current, slowing the flow of manifestation. Therefore, persistence is the practice of holding fast to your desired state, returning to it again and again, even when the evidence around you seems contrary. Many give up too soon because they expect immediate results or become discouraged by the present condition. Yet the outer world is simply a reflection of your inner state, and it takes time for your subconscious impressions to fully materialize. Persistence is the bridge that connects your initial act of imagination with the eventual physical manifestation. It is through persistent assumption of the feeling that your inner world aligns with your desired reality. Persistence means living in the end, continually assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled without wavering. It means refusing to entertain doubts, fears, or negative thoughts that contradict your inner vision. This steady focus strengthens the impression on your subconscious mind, making it more vivid and undeniable. The subconscious then works tirelessly to harmonize your external circumstances with this powerful inner state. The power of persistence can be compared to watering a plant daily. Without regular care, the seed may never sprout. But with consistent attention, it grows roots, stems, leaves, and finally blossoms. Similarly, your desire needs the consistent water of feeling, and every time you return to the feeling of fulfillment, you nourish the seed planted in your subconscious, encouraging it to grow until it bursts forth into physical reality. Persistence also requires patience and trust in the creative process. You may not see immediate changes, but this does not mean your efforts are in vain. Often the manifestation process is working behind the scenes, rearranging circumstances and aligning events that will bring your desire to fruition. Your role is to maintain your inner state and trust that the unseen is unfolding in your favor. Another aspect of persistence is resilience against external conditions that seem to contradict your desire. The world may present obstacles, delays, or discouragements, but these are temporary and do not affect the ultimate outcome when you persist in your inner conviction. Persistence shields your imagination from the noise of the outside world and keeps your focus fixed on the end result. Persistence also involves a joyful expectancy rather than a heavy burden. When you persist with faith and feeling, you align yourself with the natural flow of creation, which responds effortlessly to your inner state. This joyful persistence allows you to enjoy the process, knowing that your desire is inevitable, even if it has not yet appeared. Consistent practice of persistence transforms the assumption of your wish fulfilled from a mere exercise into a lived reality. It becomes your natural state of consciousness, shaping your identity and perception of the world. This transformation is crucial because your outer world must conform to your inner identity. When you persist in feeling fulfilled, you become the person who already has what you desire. Persistence is also a form of love for your desire. It is a demonstration of your willingness to stand by your vision, regardless of temporary setbacks. This love strengthens your emotional connection to the desire, making it more compelling to your subconscious mind. The stronger your feeling, the more decisive your subconscious action. In practice, persistence means returning nightly and daily to the feeling of your fulfilled desire, especially before sleep, when your subconscious mind is most receptive. It means repeating your imagined scenes with the same emotional intensity until the feeling becomes second nature. Each time you do this, you deepen the impression and move closer to manifestation. To persist effectively, guard your mind against contrary thoughts and influence. Surround yourself with reminders of your desire and cultivate an environment that supports your inner state. Persistence flourishes in an atmosphere of faith, clarity, and emotional engagement. By mastering persistence, you align your conscious and subconscious minds in harmonious cooperation. This unity of mind creates a powerful force that cannot be resisted by any external condition. Your persistent feeling of the wish fulfilled compels the universe to rearrange itself until your desire stands before you as undeniable reality. Persistence is the unseen thread weaving your inner visions into the fabric of your life. It is the quiet but relentless force that sustains your creative power. With persistence, your dreams cease to be distant hopes and become the inevitable outcome of your unwavering inner conviction. Each night, as you close your eyes and surrender to sleep, remember that this sacred moment holds the key to your creative power. By impressing your subconscious with vivid imagination, charged with feeling and unwavering faith, you set into motion the invisible forces that shape your reality. The subconscious mind, unable to distinguish between what is real and what is imagined, faithfully brings forth what you persistently assume as true. Through steadfast persistence and joyful expectancy, you align your inner world with your desires until they manifest in the outer world. Embrace this truth, nurture your faith, and persist with feeling your life will transform as your dreams become your lived experience. Your imagination is your kingdom, and the moment before sleep is your throne. Rule it wisely, and creation will follow.